You will not believe this story. Shocking revelations from newly released court documents. More than 12,000 Boy Scouts have been abused since 1940s. Those same documents accuse nearly 8,000 troop leaders and volunteers of committing those crimes. There is a lot to unpack here, so let's go straight to CNN's Erica Hill. And we are talking about a huge number of children. So what are you learning here?
Yeah, Lynn, that's right. So thousands of former Boy Scout volunteers accused of sexually abusing children between 1944 and 2016. In all, we're talking about 12,254 alleged child victims and some 7,819 alleged abusers. All of these people identified by Dr. Janet Warren. And it is important to point out, Lynn, those are the numbers that we have. It is unknown just how many potential victims and abusers have gone unreported. Dr. Warren is a professor at the University of Virginia Medical School, and she was hired by the organization to offer recommendations on how to best protect children from predators. She spent 5 years pouring through Boy Scout records, and in newly exposed court testimony in an unrelated case, Warren said the registration of those volunteers, remember more than 7,800, was, quote, revoked because of reasonable allegations of child sexual abuse. That testimony was actually revealed this week by an attorney who represents abuse survivors. Now, in a statement to CNN, the Boy Scouts of America apologized to victims, saying nothing is more important than the safety and protection of children in scouting, and we are outraged that there have been times when individuals took advantage of our programs to abuse innocent children. The statement goes on to say, at no time have we ever knowingly allowed a perpetrator to work with youth, and we mandate that all leaders, volunteers, and staff members nationwide immediately report any abuse allegation to law enforcement. The organization also telling CNN it has maintained a volunteer screening database since actually the 1920s, and it's been doing that to prevent anyone accused of abuse or inappropriate conduct from joining or even re-entering its programs, also noting that all leaders undergo a criminal background check. And the Boy Scouts tell CNN they offer unlimited counseling and maintain a helpline for any Scout or a Scout's family member who suffered abuse during their time as a Scoutlet.
So, Erica, that's what they're doing. It makes you wonder, how are there this many boys, and why is it coming to light now? What are you learning about that?
In terms of why this came to light now, so again, remember that testimony that was revealed, it was actually from a separate, unrelated case where Dr. Warren was an expert in that case. But an attorney brought that to light this week, saying he wanted to raise awareness about New York State's new Child Victims Act. So this is legislation recently signed here in New York State, Lynn, which expands both the civil and criminal statute of limitations for survivors of sexual abuse. It offers a new one-year look-back window, as it's known. So this will now allow victims to bring new charges if, in fact, their window to file had expired. And that goes into effect here in New York on August 14th.
Erica Hill, just shocking allegations here. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
More than 12,000 Boy Scouts, 12,000 may have been victims of sexual abuse over the past 70 years. That's according to courtroom testimony from a child abuse expert. She said she spent years reviewing how the organization handles sexual abuse accusations, and that she examined documents known as the perversion files. Her research shows that between the year 1944 and 2016, more than 7,800 Boy Scout volunteers faced accusations of sexual abuse, and that there were 12,254 victims during that time. The Boy Scouts of America released a statement that reads in part, "Nothing is more important than the safety and protection of children in scouting, and we are outraged that there have been times when individuals took advantage of our programs to abuse innocent children." Trace Gallagher reporting live from our West Coast News Hub. Trace?
And Shep, we've known about these so-called perversion files for about 9 years. It's basically a database of ineligible volunteers. In other words, Boy Scout troop leaders accused or suspected of abusing young boys. But experts say the most shocking part of the perversion files is they reveal the extent to which the Boy Scouts concealed abusers within their ranks. So even though the organization was removing Scout leaders, the allegation is their names never went public, so the community at large was never alerted. Here's an attorney for some of the victims. Watch.
It shouldn't be us disclosing these names. It should be the institutions. It should be the Boy Scouts. They should be up here issuing the names of their leaders.
The accusation is significant considering FBI research shows that unchecked, each abuser has more than 100 victims over a lifetime of offending, which of course would be many thousands of more victims. Shep.
Anything else from the Boy Scouts on this, Trace?
Well, the organization contends that many of the names in the so-called perversion files are publicly available if you dig through police records. Boy Scouts of America also released a further statement, quoting here, "We care deeply about all victims of child abuse and sincerely apologize to anyone who was harmed during their time in scouting. We believe victims, we support them, and we have paid for unlimited counseling by a provider of their choice." The Boy Scouts has also paid out tens of millions in damages and are still facing hundreds more lawsuits, but its insurance companies are threatening to stop covering the suits. So the Boy Scouts is now reportedly talking about filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which could halt existing and future litigation. The lawyers for the victims say a bankruptcy filing would also have a chilling effect on exposing more predators. USA Gymnastics, you might recall, and certain Catholic dioceses have also used bankruptcy protection to stop new lawsuits. Shep.
Okay, Trace, thanks very much.